building a team with a family, like building a strong business with a family, and what that looks like. And then also just kind of quality over quantity, because that's kind of my jam. I'm not a high recruiter. I'm not a high success club person. And you guys get like the ultimate with Ashley and Emily and Lori. Like, girls are rock stars, and Tanya. I'm not like that. And so if you're not, it's okay. Like, it's totally possible to still build a freaking awesome business, and make it work. However, okay. So first I'm going to talk about the family aspect. So when I started coaching, I had 2 kids, under 4, and my husband was in vet school. So he was basically gone all the time. And I was a full-time wedding photographer. So I was working full-time, but like on my clock, it was my schedule. And then doing this just on the side. And it was so just in the cracks of mom life, like where I could fit in some messages here, some posts here, connecting here. And that's how I did it legit for like 3 years, was without any help, just really hustling hard. And so I'm just going to speak to a couple things about what I feel like is super important, and what I feel or what I hear from my coaches a lot, is one, you've got to nix the mom guilt like yesterday. Okay. So I feel like there's such a disconnect between like actually treating this like a job and actually treating this like an opportunity that can change your life. And for some reason, it takes a long time for lots of women, especially, to be like, okay, this is actually worth my time and attention. And I'm not a terrible mother for taking some time to do this instead of hovering over my child and like being that mom 100% of the time. So really early on, I decided that, one, I would wake up really early. And I knew that if I did everything I could, like, to work around my kids, then if my kids were playing and they were happy and they didn't need me staring at them, then I was okay to work. And I wasn't going to beat myself up over that. And so I set a morning routine. So we wake up, well, right now we wake up at like 4:50, but normally like 5 o'clock, 5:30, and we do our morning routine. So I do some PD. I do it with my husband. So we have a little bit of couple time. We work out, and I do my like initial messages to my coaches. So before my kids even wake up, I get a lot done in the morning. I get my initial social media posts up. I post in my stories. And honestly, if I couldn't do anything else the rest of the day, I would be okay, because I showed up, I did the essential crap, and I could be busy the rest of the day with my kids or with life. And so really early on, I decided what was important and what had to be done every single day. And so I preach on just consistency being the really unsexy part of the business that is so essential. You can't just come in and out like when you feel like it and expect to build a thriving business. You really can't. You have to figure out in your business, what are the things that drive it? What are the things that move the needle forward? What are the things that have to be done no matter if you're having a baby, on vacation, like whatever life is doing, you can still show up one time on social media. You can still make a presence on social media about what's going on in life, okay? So that was something that really early on, I was like, okay, this is my job, and I'm going to make it a priority, and so this is something that I'm not willing to not do, no matter what life looks like. And so that's something that really early on, I just really kind of flipped that switch. And I've never in 5 years run into a period where I was like just not showing up and doing the essential stuff. So that's something I feel like has to happen. You have to have that. This is a priority, and this is I'm going to make time for it. And I feel like that stems from the second thing that I want to talk about was stemming from just having a clear vision of what you even want for this and what it means to your family. Because I know that as a mom, I'm speaking directly to you, because it, like, whenever you do fall into those times of like, oh my gosh, all this time I'm putting into my business, like it's time I could be doing this with my kids, or it's time I could be whatever. Like, you always have those thoughts of like, is this really going to be worth it? Is this taking time from my family really worth it? And if you're scrolling on Facebook and you're not doing stuff that actually helps you move forward, then no, it's not worth it. And stop fooling yourself. And that's probably why your husband is pissed off that you're doing this, because you're not doing anything to create momentum or to really make this a blessing to your family. Okay. So, what was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, the vision. So really early on, I had this clear vision. So we had a good life. Okay. We had a good life. I don't have one of those stories where it's like everything shifted. I got out of whatever situation. Like, we had a good life. My husband was in vet school. We would have been okay. But I wasn't happy with just okay. And so I knew that if I wanted like the extra stuff in life, if I wanted a boat, if you saw my picture yesterday, we just got a brand new boat so our family can create memories all summer. And that's like, those are the extra things that I just wanted for my kids. I want to have a cabin. I want to have a place to go and just have family memories. I want to travel with my family. I wanted to do the extra stuff that we would have been okay to not do, but I'm like, this is my freaking life and I want to make it what I want. So I was willing to work hard, and I was willing to sacrifice early, and I was willing to hustle and really, really create those things. So I had this clear vision of what this could be for my family. So it wasn't like, I'm hustling because I want to hit diamond. I'm hustling because I want to hit 15 star. I'm hustling. That was never it. It was, I'm hustling because I want these things for my family. And it was tangible, and it was real, and it lit a fire in me to show up every single day. So if your goals aren't directly like tied to your life, then they're not going to be as motivating to show up for. So if your goal is diamond, why? Like, what does the diamond coach even mean to you? What does 2-star even mean? What does elite even mean? It doesn't mean anything unless you tie it to what it's going to do for your life and for your family and for the people that you're impacting in order to get there. Okay. So really tie in your goals and your vision every single day. Like, that has to be part of who you are and your mission and your purpose, and getting really clear on those things. Cause if it's just like, if you don't have a clear what you're working for, it is going to be way too freaking easy to just check out and to not show up. Okay. Number 3 is Beachbody has to just become your lifestyle. Like, I hate it when it's like, this is my life and then this is Beachbody. Like, they're not two separate things. Everything that we do as coaches, you guys, everything that we do, personal development, building relationships with people and adding value and being a positive influence, working on your personal journey, all of these things, that's helping us as individuals. That's helping our life be better. So no matter how long it takes you to hit your goals and to reach whatever you want or to make this whatever you want, you're becoming a better person and you're taking care of yourself and you're growing as an individual because you're doing the things that we have to do as coaches. So really making those things part of your normal. Like I said, like, our morning routine is personal development. It's working out. It's doing those things that, 5 years ago, I was not doing any of that crap. And that's why I was like in this funk. And so I know that for me, if I can just make that part of my normal routine, and it's not like, okay, well, now for my job, I need to do this. It's like, well, now to be a healthy, happy human being, I need to do these things. Then you're going to be consistent with it. And so really weaving in those things, no matter if you're on vacation, no matter if you're whatever, like, I'm not saying you have to be a Nazi. Like, we definitely enjoy when we're on vacation and things like that. But like, we usually still work out on vacation. Like, it's just, I'm a happier person when we work out. So we make that part of our normal. And that's what connects you to so many people, is just showing them how to do this as a real human with life, with situations, with trials, and being consistent with it. Because if you're that person that's like, you show up for a week and then you don't, and then you show up for a week and then you don't, no one's going to take you seriously and no one's going to trust you to help them. So really just weave it in. Like, my kids now know morning is mom time, well, and dad time, because we do it together. But if they wake up while we're working out, because usually we wake them up But if they wake up while we're working out, they come in there, it's just normal, we're working out, they do little workouts with us, they go play, it's whatever. Whereas at the beginning, they were like climbing on us and crying, and it was like a pain. And there was a transition period where they were like, Mom and Dad, what the heck are you doing? Why are you not paying attention to me right now? Now they know, like, this is our time. This is what we do every single day. If you're not going to sleep, then you're going to go play or you're going to go do whatever. But they, like, that's part of what we do. And they know that that's important to us. Okay. So are you showing your kids and your husband or your wife or whoever that this is important to you, that this is a priority, and that they are the direct beneficiaries of you taking care of yourself? Because they are. I know that I'm a crazy mom if I don't take care of myself. Like, my patience is this thin. Everyone else around me suffers if I don't take care of myself first. And so that's what I try and teach my coaches, because I would say 99% of my coaches are young moms, and they're in that struggle of like, how do you do this with everything that's going on? But it really is like, you have to prioritize yourself. And we're just lucky because it's our job to do that. Okay. And then the last thing that I want to talk about, I kind of already talked about this, was just the essential stuff. So if you've seen any of my trainings on social or on YouTube, I have the hashtag do your crap. Okay. So I'm like super basic. I don't do anything fancy. If you go to my Instagram, you'll be like, dude, how is she like really successful coach? Because I'm just very basic. And I like just share our life. And like I was saying, like there is absolutely a recipe for success in this business. Like, there's those things that you have to be doing no matter what. If you want to grow, you have to be expanding your network. I mean, in some way, whether that's Facebook ads, manually connecting, getting your YouTube up, doing an awesome blog, like whatever your thing is, you have to be getting more eyeballs on what you're doing if you want to continue to grow forever. So you have to be expanding, you have to be connecting and building relationships with people in some way, whether that's through your posts and just being raw and vulnerable, whether you are actually personally connecting with people and messaging. And you have to be helping people. You have to be running challenge groups and helping them, and then helping your coaches have success. Like, you can't just expect to be successful in this if you're not doing the essentials every day. So when you are busy with life and with your family and with your kids, you have to know what those are, like I was saying, and you just have to be so freaking intentional. So when you have 10 minutes, you're not just scrolling and wondering what to do. You have a focused, okay, I'm going to invite 20 people right now because I have 10 minutes while my kid is getting dressed for school or whatever. Like, you can work in power pockets. You can make it whatever you want it to do. You can make this work, and your family doesn't have to suffer because of it. Like, I hate when people are like, oh my gosh, my kids are whining because I'm always on my phone. I'm like, well, then don't always be on your phone. Be intentional. Wake up earlier, stay up later. Like, you guys have to understand, and that comes with the vision part. If you want to create a life that is not just average, then you're going to have to do things that are not just average. Okay. So you might have to sacrifice for a couple years. You might have to not watch your Netflix shows. You might have to not go party with your friends every weekend. You might have to not, like, there's certain things that you might have to nix to build the business and to create momentum and to really create the life that you want. But I can promise you that if you hustle and if you make it a priority, like, now I make myself watch Netflix so that I can whatever my brain, and like, I make myself go do fun things because I'm like, gosh, I love what we do, and like, almost to a fault. Like, I could do it all the time and be perfectly happy and whatever, because I love talking to my coaches and I love talking to new people. But I'm like, okay, I got to shut my phone in my room and we're just going to go play with the kids and we're just going to go do this. And that wasn't how it was before, but it is now, because I sacrificed and I hustled and I put in the time early. And in a business like this, it's like, there's a graphic where you work for like so many hours with like so little pay, but then pretty soon it totally swaps and you're working really like a lot less for a lot more money. That's exactly how it is. And so many people don't see that. They don't have that long-term perspective and that long-term focus. And so they get so discouraged when early on it's not just happening so fast. Like, you guys have to just trust that if you show up and if you put in the work and if you're growing as an individual and if you have the heart to serve others, you will be successful. So you have to like get out of the plan B where you're like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, I'll do this. No, there's no options. Like, there's no plan B. Make this work. Go all in, hustle, sacrifice if you need to, whatever you need to right now. It will be worth it to create the life that you want for your family. And you guys, it's just such a blessing. Like, I wish I could like just shake coaches early on when they're like struggling with that belief and that confidence. I just want to be like, I promise it will be worth it for you. Just stick with it and just put in the work. Okay. And then switching gears for a second about the quality over quantity. Okay. So like I was saying, I've never been a super high recruiter. I mean, I'm not like a Success Club 5, Success Club 10 person. I still get like 30, 40, 50. So I'm still bringing in people, but not on any type of scale that some coaches do. And for me, I've really just focused on putting my time and my energy where it is matched. So you guys have to be smart about who you're putting time into, who you're putting energy into, and run with the runners. So obviously every coach has opportunity to grow and to be mentored and whatever, but I honestly am only recruiting like probably like 8 to 12 coaches a month. And then I really just do everything I can to like help them get momentum, help them get those baby wins. So yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have specific questions about that aspect? Because I don't really have anything else to say about that. Were there questions in the chat? Ashley said, do you offer the discount to everyone? Okay. I didn't do that until like a month ago. So I was always big on like, I liked to differentiate like my challengers who had no interest in the business versus my coaches who wanted to build, just because in my brain, I didn't want to like compartmentalize a discount coach. That was just how I was. And so I was really good at converting my challengers. That's where all my coaches were coming from. I was converting them from my challenge group. But then I was like, I need to just try this because I had just heard it from so many coaches that they do this. I'm like, I need to just see if this would work. And I love it. Like, so now I'm at least bringing it up, at least giving them the option, customer or coach. And it's been good because I feel like the ones that do get on as a discount coach with no intention to actually work, but they're like, well, I have the discount anyways, and I'm loving the challenge group. So now I want to learn more about coaching. So it's still that same thing where you're empowering your challengers to want to do more, but they're already set up and they're ready to go. So like a month ago I didn't, but now I'm doing it. So maybe in a month, ask me again. And I'll tell you if it's changed. Let me see. Do you limit who you work with? I take as many as want to join. Like, I have such a streamlined new coach getting started system that even if I say like I'm taking 5 girls, like if 10 want in, I would totally take 10 and feel just as confident in getting them going. So I also don't bring in like crazy numbers. So I'm like 5, 10, 15, like I can handle that. I'm not going to go too crazy. At the beginning, where did you look for your tribe? Well, it was all on Facebook at the beginning. Now I'm all Instagram, but I really just find people. I connect mostly with, moms, just cause like that's where I am right now. But honestly, I'm not as focused on like my person or like my avatar as I put out in my posts, like things I love and motivational things. And I'm trying to draw in people just who want more, like who want more out of life, who want more positivity, who want more for their health, and I'm trying to draw in those types of people. And when I'm connecting in a relationship, I just want people who want to be better. And I don't care if you're 20 or if you're 70, like you're my tribe if you want to grow and develop and pay it forward and help others. So I don't know. That's not really a good answer, but that's what I do. If you're new, not many people to run with. Yes, that is right. How important is it to be tight on who I work with in the beginning? Is it something to think more about later on? Work with everyone. So you want to, especially early on, like there's a difference between, how do you say this? There's a difference between like I will bend over backwards if you are putting effort in and if you're hustling, if you're working hard. But I think what switched is I don't need anyone to be successful. I'm bending over backwards because I want them to be successful. Does that make sense? So instead of like dragging people because you need to rank advance and you need this person to go emerald or you need this, like you can't be in that mentality. You have to be working hard to help people because they have goals that they want to hit and they have things that you want to help them achieve, not because you do. So make sure that you just find people who want it and then put time and energy and effort into them. If you're just dragging them because you need them, then it's going to be exhausting and you will like burn out quick. So that's the difference kind of there. So if they want it, I'm like all on board, like helping them any way I can. What's your key to running successful challenge groups? So my groups are, I focus a lot on the community aspect of it. I really want it to be a place where they feel comfortable to share and things, but basically I'm really simple. I just do a morning post that has like some type of value content, whether it's motivational, personal development, like a recipe tip. Like I just kind of, it's kind of a healthy life focus, like overall. So I do a value post in the morning. They check in for accountability and it's really just basic, but I do weekly prizes just because I like prizes. So that helps people show up a little bit more. But honestly, I don't know. I don't really know other than that. I run it in the app because I like to schedule everything out early. I miss live on Facebook though. So I kind of have like this, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do right now. We'll talk about challenge groups another time when I figure my crap out. How did you grow your social media following and find the right kind of people to follow and support you? I just did it organically, like the old school way. Friends of friends of friends, friends of friends of friends, friends of friends of friends of friends. That's how I grew on Facebook. And Instagram, I intentionally go, so I'll find like a really solid account that I like of like a young mom that just a mom that's cute that I like, that she's kind of my vibe. And I'll just go through her followers and interact with some of them and do the follow thing. And I just find solid accounts that I'll do that like every single day. I'll do that. And that's how I've done it over the past 5 years. So a lot of stuff happens over 5 years when you do little things every day. Advice for getting your husband on board with your vision. We're not trying to retire him or anything, and he'd rather me unplug and spend time with him than go for goals. I would say just getting clear on what you guys want out of life. For instance, my husband, he's a large animal vet. He owns his own practice. He is in love with what he does. He will never not work, ever. No matter how much money we make with Beachbody, he will always be super busy doing his vet stuff. But because of Beachbody, he does exactly what he loves with his vet stuff. He doesn't work for anyone anymore. After a year, he was able to quit and start his own practice. He built a clinic on our land. Like everything that he does now, he loves it because Beachbody afforded him to be able to do that. And so I think with your husband, just getting clear on what you guys want out of life together, instead of like Beachbody and then like his thing, like right now it's very separate. It sounds like if he doesn't see why you hitting goals actually benefits him, help him see how it's actually going to benefit him and your family. And I think that might help him kind of get on board a little bit better. What are your biggest tips for helping your runners build? Oh gosh. I don't know. just being consistent with the daily crap. Guys, I have no fancy answers. I don't know for that one.
You know what Doug always told me? He's referenced you several times in conversations that I had. Like Micah Folsom, so many of her coaches, when I go around the retreat and I say, why are you a coach? They say, because Micah believed in me and Micah told me I could. So I feel like there's got to be something that you do to just breathe belief into those people.
Yeah, I do that. I feel like that's something that I can do fairly quickly, is really just see someone's potential, especially before they see it themselves. And most of the time, that's what holds coaches back, is their own belief and their own confidence. So as their mentor, really breathing that life in them and helping them have that confidence and have that, just that fire. Cause sometimes that's all it takes for them to be like, hey, game on, and then they put in the work to make it happen. So that's a good one, Ashley. That's a good one. I do that. I believe that I am nothing special. And so I believe that anybody, no matter what your background is, where you're at in life, what you look like, you can make this whatever you want. And so since my belief in that is so strong, when I'm working with my coaches, I'm like, you can freaking do this. This is our game plan. So yeah, that probably does help a little bit. Sometimes it still takes a while though. So I don't know. What do you do for weekly prizes? I do PD books a lot. I'm huge on PD. So I do PD books a lot. Sometimes I'll do tanks. Sometimes I'll do just like cute little notebooks with energize and hydrate packets. It depends, but I really hate going to the post office. Like really. So lately I've just been ordering from Amazon and shipping it directly to them. So that's why I'm a fan of books and like cool water bottles or even like the meal prep containers. I've done those, just little things that help them on their journey. Nothing fancy. How do you start out the combo with people you don't know? I really just like am interested in their life. So I'm not one, I don't just do like the small talk, like, hey girl, how are you? Hey, I'm like, I don't have time for that stuff. So if I'm like scrolling through my stories, I'll intentionally, obviously, like comment on what's going on in their life and what's already happening. And then the conversation usually starts that way. I also have STEM Social on Instagram. And so that sends a direct message to all my new followers. And that's an easy way to spark a conversation too, because in my message, I don't even know what I say. Something like, I tell them about myself and then I'm like, where are you from? Or tell me about you or something like that. And a lot of conversations start that way too, just chatting back and forth. And then I'll directly go to their page after that message is sent and just interact on their stuff. So the more interested you are in people, the more interested they're going to be in what you have going on. So you can't just like wait for people to come. It's STEM Social, STIMSOCIAL.com. And it's just like, I don't know if you guys haven't heard of it. It's basically, it's kind of like a way better form of how Instagram was. You can target certain accounts to pull followers from. So it's not just like random. You're actually putting in like a solid mom account and then it's pulling from their followers to follow you and to like their stuff. It doesn't comment or anything. It just interacts. But that's helped a ton because it's just finding my people. It's doing that part of it. And then I can build a relationship and connect and do all that stuff. So that's been helpful for sure. Anything else? Did I miss any questions up here? I don't think so. Anything else, you guys?
I don't think so either. Any questions? You got her. You may never get her again. Yeah, I actually have never heard of STEM Social either. So I feel like that's a huge question I get from a ton of like even older coaches, newer coaches. How do I grow my following? So Lori asked us.
How do you grow your following? Because your following blew up. Is it because all of your pictures go on the Explore thing?
That's my only guess because whenever I post a transformation of mine, I get a ton of followers.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a believer in posting my transformation often.
For sure.
I know people have asked like, what bots do you use and what websites? And it's all organic. And I honestly, when people ask, I'm like, I think it's my transformation. So
that's what I would guess.
Someone said, how do you get on Explore page? I don't know if you know, Micah. Do you know?
I have no idea.
I think it's just like luck, like engagement.
High interaction. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to shoot it out to more people because everyone's liking it
And that's why you always want to have like a call to action too. Not always, but like try to incorporate that often because Instagram sees like comments are like, oh, this is good. We'll put it so more people can see it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've Googled it before too, Ash, and I never found like a
good answer.
Yeah. But it's a great first team call to hop on. All right.
You guys are lucky you have some freaking rock star leaders. So definitely take advantage of these calls because they're going to add so much value.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Any other questions, you guys? Ashley, Lori, Tanya, Leticia, do you have anything for her?
Nada.
Anything, I guess. I mean, I feel like you kind of cover mostly everything, but I always love asking at the end of like, whenever I have like a guest speaker on a call or anything, I say, what if you give a new coach or an old coach one piece of advice right now, like Reader's Digest version, what would you say?
Probably just going back to kind of what I said, like you have such a gift sitting right in front of you, such a gift. And so just like give it the time and the attention and the love and the focus that it needs to grow because it will 100% change your entire life. Like if you let it, and it's going to take work and it's going to take sacrifice and it's going to take all those things, but it's so worth it. So just trust the process, dig in, put your blinders on. Don't let your head get in the way. Hey, sister. And just do it. Like really. Oh my gosh. It's just so good.
Yeah, I agree. Someone said one question. What is the one that for you is the most meaningful change since you started coaching? Just a question. I don't understand that question.
What's the one most meaningful thing?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Golly. I mean, gosh, I don't know. I'm kind of obsessed with the fact that like I absolutely love being a mom. Like that's all I ever wanted. But then I became a mom and was like, hello, like is this all am I living for this? Like is this it? And don't get me down, like I'm not trying to put like motherhood is like amazing. But I was missing so much just fulfillment and purpose and drive and goals and all of those things that are so healthy for my kids to see their mom have. Like I'm such a better person now than I was 5 years ago because I have things to push for and I have a reason to show up and I have a reason to grow and a reason to do all those things. And I just feel like that's the greatest blessing I could give to my kids. Like whatever you guys want in life, if you're willing to work for it, you can have it. And they're learning that early. So I feel like just in the home, like we're able to create and have such an impact on our little ones early. And this just gives us that opportunity to do it in front of them every single day and have it. I mean, gosh, better example could you set than set a goal and go after it and create the life that you want. Game over. Like that's awesome. So probably that.
I'm fine ending on that note. I was getting emotional too. Someone said that you're making them cry. And I was like, that's just so cool. No, I don't think that there's anything else anyone has, but thank you so much. We appreciate your time and we know you're a mom, so you got to get back to that. But thank you for taking an evening to hang out with us and get to know us. And we just all look up to you. So I appreciate you so much. So
thank you guys.
Yeah, have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah.